I know we said that we would go through something different, so this is two, I would say, slightly different combos from what we usually go through because this is more action based. So we'll take a look at that. Oops. All right. Can everyone see? All right. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna begin. Okay. We will move a bit slowly so that we can wait for a couple more people to join. Okay. Yeah. Let's begin. Hi, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, I thought you were unwell. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better. Yes, I am. I saw you on the Lucky Draw Live, and you told me and teacher Misuko to, what do you say? Take the devices, steal some devices. I saw that and I laughed. All right. Oh, where is it? All right, there we go. All right. Today the composition that we're going through is called A Surprise Party. So we're just gonna go through it. Okay, I'm gonna highlight some of the, at first glance, some of the really effective language. All right. This. Oh no. So we have look out, whispered cautiously, as still as a tomb, clickety click, of hills. Okay, we have all these. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Right. Sorry, there's a bit of a lag on my side. All right. So, and then this is the first paragraph. All right. Penguin calling to sparrow. The eagle is on the way. The lookout's voice whispered cautiously. The room became as still as a tomb. In a faint distance away, the clickety-click of heels could be heard down the corridor. There was a moment of pause just outside the door before it was hesitantly pushed open. Okay? So this is the first paragraph. Alright. Oops, that's the pen. Alright, so now we're talking about a lookout. What is a lookout? When you say a lookout, you're referring to... Oh, that is a pen stick. Alright, let me just lower this a bit. Okay, it refers to someone whose job is to warn, is to watch for danger and warn others. Okay. Realize, whispered cautiously, avoid being overheard. Yes, that is true. That is right, Mariah. Good job. Alright. Whispered cautiously. Okay, I'm gonna write down what you mentioned. Where's the bell? Oh, found it. Alright. Avoid being overheard. It's to be quiet in order to avoid being heard. Cautiously also means carefully. Oh my goodness. Carefully, okay. The room became as still as a tomb. Mariah Carey, what does this mean? What is as still as a tomb? What writing technique is this? And why is it used? Alright. In this case, as still as a tomb is a simile. And it is used to depict how silent saying nothing. Yes, it is to be silent. Yes, essentially, it means so no one is moving. So everything is still, essentially still. That's why when you hear people saying still water, what is still water? Still water is water that hasn't moved in a long time. Okay. And a faint distance away, the clickety-click of hills. What writing technique is clickety-click? We went through it around, I think, two compositions ago. Does anyone remember what clickety-click means? Not clickety-click means. What writing technique is used for clickety-click? The hill sound. Yes, it is the hill sound, but what writing technique is used? What is clickety-click? What do sounds do hills make when they walk? You're making like click click noises, right? This is called an onomatopoeia. Rhythmic, yes, it is. It is rhythmic. We call that an onomatopoeia. Okay, it's essentially what it is that is where words imitate sounds made by the thing it's describing. So in this case, hills often make the click click noise. So right as that word at Richmond, who are you? Mariah at work, take a guess. Mariah at work. Mariah Carey, take a guess. All right, clickety click. Okay. Okay, imitates the click click sound. Okay. There was a moment of pause. What is moment of pause? Okay. What is moment of pause? Moment of pause is effective. It's effective language. Why? Because you are slowing down the pacing of the narrative and you are building suspense. What? Mariah Carey is so confused. It is your favorite teacher, Mariah. It is your favorite teacher. So, it means slowing down the pacing of the narrative. So essentially building suspense. Oh, Mariah Carey is so surprised. It was hesitantly pushed open, okay? So these are all very important words. See, now it's when you say hesitantly pushed open, the readers can see a more vivid image of how it was pushed open. Like it was a very slow opening of the door and then a peeping in before you actually open the door instead of just pushing open the door, okay? This kind of words not only paint the image of how something is done, it also highlights maybe what is gonna happen. So it kind of gives you kind of foreshadow, builds up that suspense, okay? It paves the way for what's gonna happen, okay? Sets the scene. Surprise! The whole class trumpeted, okay? Streamers were popped and confetti sprinkled on the stunned head of the lady standing in the doorway. Okay? Shock gave way to comprehension at once when she saw the words, "We will miss you, Miss Lee," written on the whiteboard. Bright unshed tears welled up in her eyes as she gazed at the eager, grinning faces of Class 4B. Has anyone had a teacher leave before in primary school? I remember when one of the teachers that meant so much to me actually first left, and everyone was so upset. We had a class party exactly like this one. A lot. I feel like in primary school it happens a lot more than in secondary school. I don't know why, but it just happens. But each time it happened, or if the teacher had to go on leave, we would always have a class party, okay? And everyone would bring so many different foods. And it would be so fun. Alright. I miss primary school. Alright. Surprise! The whole class the background music. Alright, trumpeted vivaciously, okay? It is a metaphor. Metaphor. Mariah Carey, does that mean you miss school because you're sick right now? Do you miss school? Is it boring at home? Trumpeted vivaciously means to proclaim or announce. Something announced in a lively way. Yes, you are correct. Alright. Announce something loudly, okay? So, vivaciously means in a more animated way. So, yes, it is lively, as you mentioned. So, yeah, lively. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. Alright. Lively manner. Okay? What am I doing? Alright, in a lively manner. Streamers were popped and confetti sprinkled on the stunned head of the lady standing in the doorway. See, there's that sense of like suspense because the reader then wonders who is the lady standing in the doorway and how is she going to react. That's why you give that moment of you don't clarify who she is. I do miss school, but at the same time, I like staying at home. This is every child's dilemma, okay? For me, I'm an extrovert, so I absolutely hate being alone. I hate being in my own little like space, but at the same time, I need it. I enjoy it at times, okay? It's a huge dilemma. I get you, Mariah. I get you, Mariah. All right. Shock gave way to comprehension. All right. See, now you can say shock gave way to understanding. I'm an introvert. Then why do you miss school? I mean, school has many nice areas, but I always hear my introvert friends that they don't enjoy school as much as the extroverts. Maybe it's like a person to person thing, you know? All right. See, when you say shock gave way to comprehension, it's a much more sophisticated way of saying that she realized when she saw the words, okay? You could just say she realized when she saw the words. But you say shock gave way to comprehension. So shock is literally moving away and comprehension is going to be there. It's just moving away. So like, can you imagine like shock standing in front of comprehension and like blocking its view? And then the moment it moves away, Miss Lee suddenly understands, oh, my students have done something so nice for me. So it's a very, very nice way of painting an image. So it's kind of metaphoric. It's kind of very, it's implicit. You're not directly saying it, okay? So this is kind of like showing, not telling, okay? At once when she saw the words, we'll miss you, Miss Lee, okay? See, now in this way, the writer still moves the story forward, so she directly tells us what she sees, and then she moves on to the emotions Miss Lee is feeling, where she says, bright unshed tears welled up in her eyes, okay, as she gazed at eager grinning faces of class 4B, okay? Bright unshed tears. So they are describing tears that have not even been shed. They are at her eyes, and that's why her eyes are gleaming, you know. It's a very beautiful image. It's a very effective phrase. So you can remember this phrase and use it in your next composition when someone has to cry or someone is really, really happy, okay? Hi, Ozil. Welcome to the live. Welcome. We are currently going through two very action-packed compositions solely because I feel that action-packed compositions help students to progress faster, okay? When it comes to action-packed, one thing about compositions is that you have to balance detail and progress within the story, okay? Personally, as a student, I've said this many times, but I struggled a lot with balancing that. I would always go overboard with detail and not be able to finish writing. So what really helped me was focusing on action-packed stories, because at that point, you would have to describe facial expressions, you would have to describe emotions, but at the same time, you have to progress the story fast because it's action-packed. Everything is happening, okay? Everything is happening, okay? Essay overcome. Oh, compo is better than essay. Yeah, yeah, it is. Essays were fun at first when I started doing them, but then now I miss compositions. Now I've come to miss compositions after a whole round of doing both, you know? I feel that compositions are slightly easier. So, but it's a person to person preference, you know? It's a person to person preference. I like over describing. I enjoy writing a very focused story rather than debating over, very specific topics. All right. Oh, who shared the live? Thank you for sharing the live.
Dovan Sleeping Gold
Dovan Sleeping Gold.
medalist.
All right. All right. Bright unshed tears. Okay, yeah. Please remember this one. It's really, really nice. If I saw this in any of the students' compositions, I would be amazed. Like, wow, you know. So I'm just gonna put like a little red star over here. Okay. Ah, it's not a very nice star, but all right. All right. The class of 4B had especially arranged for the special going away party. Mariah Carey says, "Wait, wait. You want us to take a screenshot?" It's bright unshed tears welled up in her eyes. Okay, never mind. The class of 4B had especially arranged for the special going away party for their beloved form teacher, Miss Lee, who was leaving for further studies. Multi- Multicolored balloons formed a brilliant canopy covering the white ceiling, and a row of tables groaned under the weight of scrumptious goodies. I love that. Each student had contributed to the food by bringing a different dish for the potluck party. There, sitting in the middle of the array of food, was the most gargantuan cake Miss Lee had ever seen. It was made up of 3 different sections, spelling out "We love you." The whole class and Miss Lee tucked into the sumptuous food with glee. Further studies, continue education at further level. That is correct. Good job, Mariah Carey. Good job, good job. So when you say further studies, you can mean like a master's, a PhD, depending what the person's at in terms of studies, of course. All right. Okay. Let's see. So further studies, Mariah Carey got that right. I am so proud. All right. So it's kind of like, oh, let me see. Higher degree of education. Okay? Higher degree of education, that's what it means. Multicolored balloons. So you see, all throughout here, it's a huge, just like, dump of descriptions, okay? But it's not irrelevant, okay? It's relevant to the setting, and that's what paints a very beautiful picture. Please, 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 don't describe for the sake of describing. Please don't, simply because your teacher says, please describe more, find some small part of your story to completely hyper focus on and describe. Always describe something that is relevant to the story or something that will move the story along, okay? Something like in this case. Vibrant canopy, if I'm not wrong, is like a forest group of trees. Yes, canopy is like a cover, you know? It's like a cover. It's like a cover. So when like the trees cover something, you say like canopy of trees. Form the vibrant canopy, okay? Cover, yes, yes, yes. Also, you're correct. Alright, so it's like, and vibrant means bright, so it's essentially saying that there were so many balloons that it created like a cover, you know? They were like practically like shielded by like the balloons. So it's a way of describing. It's, yeah, it's a bit of a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Okay? Covering the white ceiling. See, right there, you have the hint. The word covering. See, you have that hint. And a row of tables groaned under the weight of scrumptious goods. Where's my highlighter? Alright. I'm using this iPad for the first time. I've always used the other iPad. So my writing is a bit funny today. But as long as everyone understands. Alright. Groaned under the weight. Okay, what is that? Groan under the weight is a personification. Okay, why is it a personification? Okay, let me just write that down. Okay, why is it a personification? Because can tables groan under the weight of something? To be struggling, yes, 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 you're correct, Mariah Carey, good job. Because when you say groan under the weight, your groaning means, oh my goodness, to make a deep sound in response to pain or strain, okay? So it's so heavy, that the table is feeling that strain, and that's why it's groaning. I don't take literature, so I don't know. Literature. I remember my brother takes literature, and I remember that in secondary school he was struggling because he didn't really. Firstly, he didn't really see. I feel like he didn't really see the need of it, and yeah, I think it's about finding something that interests you in literature. Personally, I'm a geo and history student. So you're like a pure. Are you a pure humanities student? I was a pure humanities student as well. I was a pure humanities, but I didn't go to a local school, so I took different subjects. I took different subjects. We had a bigger like array of subjects that you can choose from. Pure history, really. I remember learning about like Pearl Harbor, and hear me out. I feel all the joy and everything for our country, for like going through this hard period of history. But as a subject, I really dislike history. So history is just not my thing. Okay. I'm okay with essay writing. I'm a literature student as well. I was okay with it. But when it comes to having to remember so many bits, so many bits and pieces, so many numbers, so many dates, and putting them down in an essay, I hated it so much. You love history so much. Wow. Okay. I really didn't like history. I was more of a language person. I loved Chinese classes. I loved English classes, and that was about it. That was about it. Math was good too, but not history. Not history. Nuh-uh. All right. Each student had contributed to the food by bringing a different dish for the potluck party. Contributed. I think everyone should know this phrase, but I'm just gonna write it down just in case. All right, means give in order to achieve something. I love any subjects that have essay. I feel like some people are just more of the writing type. You know, some people prefer doing a lot of subjects with numbers. Like personally, my brother prefers like numbers, and I prefer the humanities. So I think it's a person to person thing, and there is absolutely like no discrimination either of that. So, you know what? There's a field for everybody. You know. Teacher Jia, when are you teaching French? French is unfortunately not one of the languages that I speak. Alright? So that's about it. So English and Chinese, and that's about it. Maybe Korean or German in the future, but not French. At the moment. For the moment. Alright? Potluck party. Okay, usually we have these for Chinese New Year. I always have it for Chinese New Year. But we also, potluck party essentially means everyone brings a little bit of something. So it's a type of party, okay? I'm gonna write that down. Type of party where everyone brings something. Are you teaching Russian? No. I heard Russian is quite complex to learn. I heard it's quite complex to learn. But you know what? I think I mentioned it in another live that it is such a flex. It's something so amazing to be able to brag about if you're able to speak like more than 3 languages. Can you imagine going to different places and just knowing all the languages people speak? And I think that is so cool. I think that's absolutely so cool. I hate math. See, I loved math in primary school. Absolutely loved it. I was aced math. And I don't know what happened in secondary school. I don't know what happened. Everything just fell down the drain. So, practice, people. You have to keep up your practice. For me, my issue was that I left a big hole in my practice, and everything went downhill from that. Practice, practice, practice. All right, that's every teacher always says that. But there's a reason why they say that, okay? I bet teacher Mitsuko speaks all 800 languages in the world. Please ask her. And then maybe she can teach me like one or two, you know? I love math. I love primary school math too. Secondary school math is okay if you know how to do it. But if you don't know how to do it, then, you know. Array of food. Array of food. It's a variety of food. Variety of food. I'm such a huge snacker. That's a very TMI side note, but you know. What's the most gargantuan cake? I love cake. I love cheesecake. New York cheesecake. Burnt cheesecake's good. Variety of food. Yes. Yes, good job. You guys are learning really fast. I am very proud. Alright, gargantuan. Does anyone know what gargantuan means? I hate cake. I love brownies. Why? Both are good. Both are good. But why do you hate cake? Okay, what is gargantuan? Does anyone know? Gargantuan. Okay, guessing nobody knows. It means enormous. It means it's a huge cake. It's a massive, massive cake. See, it has, and then they go forward to describe it. Yes, gigantic. Correct, Ozil. Good job, good job. I was gonna answer. You have to type faster. Type faster. Alright. It was made up of 3 different sections spelling out "We love you." See, following like the description that it's an enormous cake, one very good way to describe a new composition, especially if I remember when I was in school, some of the teachers would tell the students that certain students that you are pacing your composition way too fast. You are not leaving room for any descriptions. Okay. Now looking back, one key tip that I would give to those students is that you have to, when you're doing your planning, you can identify key areas that you can describe. And you really, really, really put your descriptions there. I'm not saying one entire paragraph of description, but that is exactly where you should insert your description, okay? In this case, you see, gargantuan cake. You're talking about a cake, not too much. In small areas like this, you can add a little bit. Why is the cake big? Why do you say the cake is big? How big is the cake? It was made up of 3 different sections, okay? We love you, okay? So you're actually adding to that. You're backing up that statement with detailed evidence, okay? See? So you're adding on. The whole class and Miss Lee tucked into the sumptuous food with glee. Okay, this sumptuous means delicious. Oh, why did I write G? Delicious. Now I'm craving cake. The cake is as big as an ant. That's a very massive ant. That's a very massive ant. Now I'm craving cake. Same. I love a good New York cheesecake. Good New York cheesecake always wins. Apple cheesecake as well. I'm just a cheesecake person. Alright, food with glee. Okay, it's just excitement, happiness. Alright, now I'm craving waffles. The best waffles are mochi waffles. Mochi waffles. They're good. Okay, when all the food was wiped clean. I just realized this thing keeps zooming itself. When all the food was wiped clean, the class lined themselves up in 4 rows and sang a song dedicated to Miss Lee. Candace and Karen then strode towards Miss Lee, carrying a huge panel between them. It was a pictorial collage that the class had made of the memorable times that Miss Lee had spent with them in their year together. For the first time in her life, Miss Lee was stunned speechless as waves of emotions flooded through her. This time round, unchecked tears streamed down her porcelain smooth face as she gave each and every one of her students a tight bear hug. She promised that she would never forget this amazing, thoughtful class of students and would miss them tremendously too. It reminds me of the first teacher that I think she left because of like maternity leave. And then we also had a class party. It reminds me of that. Alright. When they say food was wiped clean, my friend said that waffles are just pancakes with abs. That's a very, very smart way of describing it. But isn't it more like indented abs? Because waffles like they're inwards, not outwards. Alright. It's just a little yeah. When all the food was wiped clean, okay? Wiped clean. It's used to emphasize that all the food was finished. Okay? So the plate was literally wiped. Oh, the food was wiped clean. It was completely cleaned off the plate. Right? So it was finished so fast that it seemed as if someone just wiped it off. Thank you so much for the likes. We are close to 1K likes. We have 400 more to 1K. Thank you, everyone. Alright. What do you put in your waffles? Whipped cream, no doubt, maple syrup. Always. Alright. The class lined themselves up in 4 rows, descriptions, sang a song dedicated to Miss Lee. Syrup always hits. Alright? Dedicated to Miss Lee. Dedicated refers to exclusively allocate, you know, when you assign something to someone. See, there are so many ways that you can describe, where you can phrase, where you can replace one word, you see? Exclusively for her, yes, exclusively. That is exactly what I would say. Good job. Candace and Karen then strode. You could just say walk, but see, now walk does not have the same effect. When you say strode, you're giving someone the idea, you're giving the readers the idea that your character is confident, your character has a purpose, you know, you're walking with confidence, you know. Alright, it was a pictorial collage. What's a pictorial collage? Pictorial collage is, pictorial, it's from the word picture. Whoa. It essentially means that it was a picture collage, where you put a lot of pictures together. Pictures, put /assemble. Can Dev tell you took lit? I was a lit student. For 4 years. So yes, I am a lit student. The class have made of the memorable times. Oh my goodness. Memorable times. I have to drink some water. Okay, memorable times. It means times that are worth remembering. Unforgettable times. Yes. Worth remembering / unforgettable. You phrased it better than I did. Good job. I'm proud of you also. Unforgettable. Okay? For the first time in her life, Miss Lee was stunned speechless. Okay? It shows the extent of which she was speechless. She didn't just go silent out of nowhere. She was shocked silent, and in a happy way. She was so shocked that she can't react. Yes, you're correct. Shocked. Yep, shocked. So stunned and shocked can be used as synonyms of each other. So if you're going to use stunned multiple times, you can replace 1 or 2 of them with shocked, and you can find some others, you know. And one very good way of building up this bank of vocab is you can have like a little notebook, and as you're doing like synonyms, you can research what is the synonyms of stunned. You have stunned, shocked, what else? And you just go down the list, you know. Okay, as waves of emotion flooded through her. Okay, when you say waves of emotion, it's astonished. Yes, astonished. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one too. You can add it to your list. Astonished, shocked, and stunned, right? All right. Waves of emotion is you're talking about her emotions, how her emotions were powerful and oh, we do not have enough space here. Let's see. And uncontrollable. Okay? So it's literally a wave. It's like a metaphor, you know. Her emotions were like waves, you know, and they flooded through her. How fast her emotions actually flooded through her. How sudden it was. It wasn't like a very slow and gradual. Oh my God, my students care for me so much. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. It was that very sudden. Oh my goodness, and then she just started. Mine reached 2,000 words. Your what reached 2,000 words? Your vocab list? You memorize it every day. That's that's actually really, really good. Did it help your composition? Did it help your composition writing? Did it help? One very good way that I can recommend to memorize synonyms is to practice using them. And when it comes to vocab, don't just look word for word. You can find one word, look for its synonyms and like words that contrast it, and then after you remember it easier that way because you can relate it to similar words. All right. This time, unchecked tears streamed down her porcelain smooth face. Okay, we have this 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go through it. All right, unchecked tears. Unchecked tears means unrestrained tears. Okay, so her tears are like free flowing. She's not trying to stop them anymore. She's just happy that her students care so much. It's happy tears that's streaming down her face right now. Her porcelain smooth face is her face is as smooth as porcelain. Okay, so it's like a metaphor. It's describing her face. As she gave each and every one of her students a tight bear hug. What is a tight bear hug? I've heard this phrase so many times. What is a tight bear hug? Okay, what is a tight bear hug? Hi Hazel. Hi Travelog. There's so many cool names in this live right now. We just reached 1.1k likes. Thank you everyone. Good job everyone. Thank you for the likes and the shares. Alright. Tight bear hug. Tight bear hug refers as a metaphor. Yep, it's a tight embrace. Good job, Mariah. So it's essentially saying that the hug was so high that it was as if like a bear was hugging her, you know? It's like how bears hug each other. It's probably like really, really tight. She promised that she would never forget this amazing, thoughtful class of students and would miss them tremendously. So when you say someone's very thoughtful, they're very like considerate, they're very nice people, they're very caring people. And I would miss them tremendously too. Tremendously. With the word extremely. Okay? She misses them extremely. She wants to give them a big and tight hug. Okay? Right now we will go through the power words, all right? To a great extent. Yep, tremendously. It also means to a great extent. Alright, mistyped. It's okay. Alright. Power words. Screenshot? Alright, screenshot. From the top. Is this big enough? Wait, let me... Is this big enough for you to see? It should be big enough. think we can do it like this. It would be definitely big enough now. Alright, wait, give me a sec. Yeah, don't be sorry, it's okay. Okay, let's just zoom it in a bit. Okay, there we go. Alright, you can take a screenshot and then we'll move on to the power words, and then we'll quickly go through one more composition, and then next lesson we'll do the questions, okay? So you have a bit of time to like let it sit in your head, and after that you revise it the next time, so it stays in your head actually. Okay, second part. Okay, and let's go to the third part, and then we'll go to the next page. Alright, okay, next page. If anyone needs anything, please let me know. Alright, then we have the fourth and might be a bit hard to make it the last part. Okay, this part. And then the last part. It's a bit of overlap. Alright, let's go on to the power words, okay? Okay, then we have number one. We'll go through it real quick. Number one is lookout, which means watching out, okay? So someone who, the word itself, look out, it means watch out for this thing. But if you're calling someone, he is the lookout, that means he is someone who is assigned to watch for danger, watch out for something or someone, and alert others, okay? Keep a lookout, yes. So like, whispered cautiously, okay? It means that you spoke softly and carefully. So I'm just gonna... Okay, so it's like this, and then as still as a tomb. It is a simile, and it means no movements. So essentially everyone is so quiet, it's like a tomb. Why did it compare it to a tomb? Because can you imagine when it's someone's tomb, you're very, very quiet, you're very respectful, you're very silent, and because and when nobody is there, the people who are there are most likely to have passed on. So everyone's quiet, everyone's still, nothing's happening, nobody's talking. So you compare something that's very still to a tomb, saying how absolutely still it is, right? You're saying the clickety click of heels, which means the sound of high heel shoes walking against the floor when walking, okay? So it's onomatopoeia. Okay, let me just write that down. How did I describe it? It's an onomatopoeia, okay? So it's sound. It's imitation of sound, okay? Imitate the sound of hills, okay? A moment of pause. What is a moment of pause? It's all motion stopped for a short while. So it's, you can say that she paused, or you could say there was a moment of pause, okay? It brings that suspense to that story. It slows everything down, makes everyone say, oh, what's gonna happen next? I cannot tell, you know, everyone to, you know, really zoom in for a second. Hesitantly means a short delay due to uncertainty. So it's like when you hesitantly open a door, you're very careful just in case there's something behind the door that you don't want to see. So you're hesitant, you know. trumpeted vivaciously, which means shout out loudly and cheerfully. So trumpeted, it's essentially like a trumpet. Trumpets are really, really loud. You are, you don't hold back. You're just yelling. And vivaciously, you're very cheerful. You're excited. All right. So it really describes the way of which students were expressing themselves, how happy the students were. So when you're talking about adverbs or anything to describe speech, that is not just description of the action itself, you're also describing the scene, okay? So it's like when I'm saying that I yelled, she yelled, compared to when you say that she said. When you say she yelled, you're showing that there's a sign of aggression within the situation. You're also building up to what might happen next in the situation, compared to when you say she said. When you said she said, nobody knows what's gonna happen next. It's just that you know that she's speaking, that's all, okay? So it doesn't bring your story forward, it doesn't enhance the environment in your story. Nobody knows what's gonna happen, alright? Alright, comprehension. It's not the one that you have in your English paper, okay? Well, it kind of is, it's similar, okay? Like listening comprehension, it's about looking and understanding. In this case, it's also the same thing. It means to show understanding. Okay, then you have bright, unshed tears welled up in her eyes. When you say welled up, so it's not like they suddenly just appeared in her eyes. They came up very, very slowly around her eyes, and they were bright, they were unshed, they were still in her eyes. Her eyes were bright with tears, you know. So you can say her eyes, no, X, eyes bright with tears. Okay, her eyes were bright with tears. It means that her eyes became watery with tears. Okay, and gazed means she stared. See, when you're talking about number 9, let me just backtrack a bit. I just thought of something that I could explain to you guys. So if you said that, you could write that she became teary-eyed, okay? That's a very good description as well, because then you know how she looked like in the moment, but it does not compare to when you say bright unshed tears welled up in her eyes. You're showing a little bit of a process, a slow-mo, a zoom in of what's happening. It adds to your situation. Small details like this can make a huge difference to your composition and show your teacher that you know where to emphasize on certain things. Like in this case, the whole story was building up to the event where students were giving a farewell to their teacher. So you want a good reaction, you know, how is the teacher reacting, you know? In this case, that's very important. Further studies, which means going away for studies. It's like further education. So like a master's or PhD. So it's like an example for you guys. And then you have vibrant canopy, which means brightly colored shelter, grown under the weight, burdened with a heavy load. So it's a bit of it's a personification because can tables actually grown under weight? They probably would if they could, but they can't. All right, so in this case, contributed means provided food for the party. You're contributing to something. All right, now everyone can have the chance to, oh no, we are, should we take a screenshot of this page first? Mariah Carey, would you like to take a screenshot of this page first? If not, I'm gonna move on to the next. We have half an hour left, and I would really love to finish the other composition today. Yes, you would like to? Alright, let me zoom in. Alright, you should be able to see. Alright, please take a screenshot. Ozil, you can take a screenshot too. Actually, I don't need to. I wrote it all down. That's great. Writing down actually helps people to remember it better, but I mean, sometimes you're not in a place where it's convenient to write down with like a pen or paper, so screenshots work, okay? But writing down is better. If you're asking me if you have an option, writing down is always better. Okay, potluck party. We already explained this. A party where each guest prepares a dish to all to share. Okay, I feel like this is quite prominent in Chinese culture, especially. All right, array of food is a variety of food, so we can say that. Okay. Gargantuan means gigantic, and as Ozil, I think it was Ozil said it was enormous. Enormous, alright. Tucked into the sumptuous food with glee. Delicious food happily. So glee is happily. And sumptuous is delicious. Oh my goodness. Delicious, okay? No, I didn't spell it right. Forgot this. Alright. Delicious. Wiped clean, finish all the food, and it also shows how fast it was clean. So everything was wiped clean. Dedicated, so made especially for. And pictorial collage means made photographs all stuck on the surface. So it's kind of like collating pictures. Collating pictures. Thank you so much for the likes, Azil. Thank you. Alright. At this rate, we're going to be able to reach 1.5k by the end of the life. I'm hoping. Alright. Memorable times, which means unforgettable times. Oh my god, Azil got it exactly right. Good job. Okay. Stunned, speechless. In a state of surprise and shock. And it's how surprised she is that she literally cannot say anything. Waves of emotion flooded through. So she felt emotional. Okay. Unchecked tears, where she's crying unexpectedly and oh my goodness. And uncontrollably. Oh, okay. So it is, she's not holding back, she's not holding herself back, she's just crying in a very uncontrolled way. Porcelain smooth face, how smooth her face was, it's like a porcelain. So in this case, because the word like isn't used, but still a comparison, it's a metaphor. Okay, so it shows that her skin is fair and smooth. I wish my skin was smooth. I'm having a lot of issues with my skin lately. It's not nice, right? Tight bear hug, which means hugging tightly. Okay, it's also a metaphor. Okay, we have thoughtful, which means considerate. And then tremendously, which means extremely. Alright, and Ozil previously said that this also means that to a large extent. So I'm going to write that down as well because I thought that was really good. Alright. So, okay, everyone can take a screenshot or write things down. Yeah, exactly. We are almost done with this section. Move on to the next composition. Okay, potluck party to dedicated. Okay, everyone can take a screenshot. Huh, I never saw Ozil's comment. Really? I remember I saw it. Maybe I'm delirious from hunger. Another good word for you guys. Yeah. Alright, okay, and then the second part. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, maybe we'll have to split this into 3 parts. Alright. Okay, you guys can take a screenshot. Screenshot time. Hi, Messy Hair. Hello, Johnny. Let's see if there are any other new people. Hello, Wow. Hello, Ray. Ray is such a nice name. Such a pretty name. Alright, next and last part. Alright, so it's just this part. Everyone can take a screenshot and then we'll move on really, really quickly. Thank you so much. We are at 1.2k likes. Thank you, everyone, for the likes. Alright. Alright, then we're done. We're done. Good job, everyone. Good job. Alright, let's move on to the hello tales of tree BSHSG. Alright, so we have this one. You see the let's look at the words, not so much the pictures, okay? Well shaded, frolicking, relaxing day, breeze wafted gently, frantic spurted, filling arms, swam to safety, okay? These are the words that we're gonna go for today, okay? And we're gonna call it a close shave. What does a close shave mean? Does anyone know what a close shave means? Does anyone know? Okay, while I wait for people to tell me to guess what it means, I'm gonna highlight all the very nice phrases that I see over here. Close shave, close shave. SHAVE. Let me think. Okay, take your time. I'm just gonna highlight some words so we know what we're looking at later. Close shave. What does close shave mean? Close call. Okay, any other answers? I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying any other answers. Okay, we're gonna look and see what answers we can get. Ozil, any answers? Any guesses? Any guesses, everyone? Mariah Carey has given her guess. Alright, let's dive in. Alright, narrow escape from danger. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys the answer. As per dictionary definition, it means a shave in which the hair is cut very short. That's just one meaning. Alright, that is not the meaning in this case. The meaning in this case means a narrow escape from danger or disaster. Okay, so both Ozil and Mariah is correct. Hi Tails, I'm gonna call you Tails. It's from Google, isn't it? Yes. I'm giving you guys official dictionary definition so that you guys don't have to look at the dictionary yourself. Okay? Searched it from the dictionary. Yes, I guessed. Tales of tree. Nearly got into an accident. Yes, yes. Essentially, that is the meaning. That is the meaning. Essentially, yes. You are correct. Welcome to the live, by the way. I've not seen you here before. I hope you stay and learn with us. Alright, let me just look at that. Alright. Then we have splashing of waves formed a symphony. So what a beautiful, beautiful way. I knew it as I was reading the composition. It's such a beautiful, beautiful description. Form the symphony, okay? So it's saying that the waves are so beautiful, the way the waves are splashing, it is so beautiful that it's like a classic symphony. It's like a song. It's like a song played by an orchestra, you know? That's how beautiful it is, okay? So it's a metaphor. Oh my goodness. A metaphor suggesting beauty. Oh my goodness, I'm not typing it, I'm not writing it right. Beauty in sound. Okay, so it's a very beautiful way of writing something. Okay, you guys can jot this down. Actually, this whole part is really, really pretty. So you guys can write it down. Draw a nicer star so that everyone will remember. Alright, and then we have, let's go back to blue. Children's with the gentle breeze that caressed the trees. I forgot this part. This is a personification. Okay. Because can the gentle breeze actually caress the trees? Caress is to touch something very gently and very caringly. a gentle breeze can't really do that, okay? So we're putting a human's, a person's characteristics or something that a person can do, we're inserting that into an inanimate object or non-human object, okay? And that is what we call personification, okay? Hi, Mimi. Hi, Belly. Okay, children's laughter added zest to the Sunday air at the beach, okay? I'm just gonna fill this up. Zest means energy. Huh? What is huh? Why huh? Why huh? Why huh? Children's laughter added zest, okay? It's a very nice way of saying that everyone was so happy and immaculate produced by the children, added to the very nice vibe, the atmosphere at the beach, okay? So it's a very nice way of adding that, okay? Families of different size. What's huh? Why huh? Families of different sizes filled the cozy stretch of sand that was well shaded by trees, okay? Very good, what do you call that? Very good description, very good imagery. Well shaded by the trees, okay? It's covered well. Why huh, Mariah? What's up? Okay, the Tan family was having a fantastic time with their picnic. Mr. Tan and his family were lounging leisurely under the natural awning of the trees that lined the beach. Okay, lounging leisurely, okay? Does anyone know what that means? And what writing technique is used? Does anyone know the writing technique over here? Now, and guys, we have 20 minutes. Let's try to finish this composition by today. I don't want to have to keep it till the next time because we would be going through the vocab questions next time. Okay, we want to leave like a little gap between so that you guys can have some time to like let it settle in your brain and revise it the next time. Okay, no huh? Alright, lounging leisurely. I'm gonna write it down since nobody's answering. Passing time, yes, that is correct. The meaning is correct. Good job. It means to be relaxed. To be relaxed and unhurried. Relaxed and unhurried. Then you're saying lounging leisurely. Alliteration. Because alliteration is essentially when two words with beginning letters are repeating themselves. So you see lounging leisurely, the sound, the sound, the L sound is repeating itself. So later on in literature, you might end up learning that you have this kind of repetitive sound also adds on to the story. Right now, for PSLE, you won't have to learn that yet, but when writing your story, it doesn't really contribute that much. But it's also very good to know that as alliteration. Okay. Under the natural awning, is technique entertaining, teacher Misuko? It always is. Writing techniques always entertain us. Teacher Misuko is also laughing right now. Under the natural awning of the trees, okay? Natural awning of the trees. It means like a cover or shade. So it's like the canopy thing that we learned just now. That word we learned just now, okay? So there's like a lot of different ways of phrasing things, okay? And we learned sometimes they might have similar meanings, but different ways of phrasing add different elements to the story. Sometimes they make the story more sophisticated. Sometimes they make it more visual, different things. Sometimes they add like a vibe to it. It's different. Okay, was frolicking in the shallow waters of the sea. Okay, it means in like a happy or carefree. So frolicking means play in a cheerful or lively way. Okay, I want to go play at the beach too. I haven't played beach volley in a long time with my friends, but it is a very good bonding activity, I would say. Hi, Pikachu. Welcome to the live. We just hit 1.5k likes. I just saw. Thank you, everyone. We hit 1.5k likes today. That is an achievement. That's an achievement. All right. All right. Let's move on to the next paragraph. All right. Hello, Cookie Buddy. Thank you so much for the likes. You just got a number 3 badge. I see. All right. Help! Help! A desperate cry pierced through the air. They whipped their heads around and saw young Eugene running towards them. Help! Help! Over there! Before young Eugene could articulate a full sentence, Mr. Tan raced towards the... Wait a second. Mr. Tan raced towards the direction that he was gesticulating... Wait. Where's this lagging? Okay. The rest of the family followed at his heels. To their greatest horror, they saw a pair of hands feeling wildly in the air. Without hesitation, Mr. Tan dived into the sea. My achievement is an achievement. Of course it is. Of course it is, Mariah Carey. Okay. Desperate cry. Desperate cry. We know that that means that when it comes to pierced, it means to say that the cry was extremely sharp. Okay, so the cry was so sharp that it pierced through the air. It went piercing through the air, okay? That's how sharp it was. It was loud, it was like in pain, you know. They whipped their heads around. So when you say they whipped their heads around, they swung their heads back, okay? And saw young Eugene running. See, in this paragraph, there is a lot of description. But I wouldn't say that this description is overwhelming. Teacher, my brain is getting confuzzled. What is confuzzled? Are you getting confused? Why are you confused? Am I explaining too fast? Am I explaining too fast? Okay. They whip their head. I was trying to slow down a little bit, okay? They whip their heads around, okay? A bit, okay. I'll slow down a little bit. So, when you're saying that they whip their heads around, and then you see later on they're saying that before young Eugene could articulate a full sentence. These are small details that contribute to the scene, okay? So when you say they whip their heads around, you say how urgent the situation is. So there's the sense of it being very urgent. And we say that before he could articulate, it also sends that it is very urgent, that nobody even gave him time to finish his sentence, to say things properly before Mr. Tan raced towards the direction, okay? So these are all small details that don't overwhelm your composition, but they contribute to the entire scenario, okay? And these are very, very important. And that's exactly why I wanted to go through action-packed composition, because you see in this exact paragraph, you can see that there's not a lot of description, like not overwhelming amount, but it's a very good amount. It's just right, and you're moving the story forward in a pace that is, you know, it's effective, okay? This paragraph especially is a very good example. So also one thing to be very careful of, sometimes students including myself back then, use a lot of dialogue, and you try to move the composition along with dialogue. Don't do that. Dialogue can add to your story. See, in this case, help, help. Okay, you're painting a picture. What is the person saying? Okay, you can, but it shouldn't be the thing that is moving your story along. Okay, it can accessorize your story, make it pretty, and sometimes you need it. You need it. See, help, help over there. You also bring out a character's character. You're saying how the character is like based on the way they talk. But like I said before, and I repeat it, this dialogue cannot be the one that's pushing your composition forward. You should not be writing your entire composition based on dialogue, okay, or majority of it based on dialogue. That will definitely not earn you marks. That will definitely not work, okay? So be very careful with that, because when I first learned how to write dialogues, I remember that I tried to use a lot of dialogue, but that was counterproductive, and it actually made my grades fall quite a bit when it comes to composition, okay? I only use 3 dialogues. Yes. 3 dialogues is okay. I'm saying that, saying for students who use, like, let's say 10 dialogues, you know, like maybe 3 dialogues per paragraph. That's way too much, okay? 3 dialogues is fine as long as they are like split out. They are fine. I think that's fine. Always stick to small amounts. Small amounts are good, okay? Yeah, note you're not writing a novel. That's very important, okay? What if you change the subject? What do you mean, what if you change the subject? What do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna continue going through this, and you can type what you mean. Okay, where did we stop? Articulate. Articulate means to speak clearly, or in a way, coherently, in a way that people understand. Okay. Okay. Mr. Turn raise in the direction, and you see this means that you were making animated gestures, and you were doing it in a loud and uncontrolled manner. Okay, that's exactly what it means. Okay, that's exactly what it means. Following at his heels. What does that mean? Following at his heels. What does this phrase mean? Also, when you are writing, it is very good to use idioms. But the thing about idioms is that you have to be careful about what they mean. Not all idioms have the same meaning as their surface meaning. So it is also very important to use idioms that you know, instead of taking the risk on the exam day. Okay, always be very, very careful with that. Be very, 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 very careful with that. Okay. Follow at his heels is a metaphor, which means to follow closely. So it's basically an image, so you can see that someone is literally following the heels of someone else. That's how close they're following. They are literally meeting the heels of someone else. That's how. Teacher, I have to go. Alright, I see. I will see you on the next live then. That's alright. Thank you so much for joining our live today, Mariah Carey. I hope you get better soon. Alright. A pair of hands failing. So it means to wave or swing wildly. Okay, so the person was desperate, and that's exactly the description that you're going for here. Without hesitation. Okay, this is another word, another phrase that means immediately. Okay, we went through a lot of phrases that means the same thing as immediately within the past, I think it was the past 2 weeks. And see, over here we also have in record time, which means the same thing as this. Okay, so it's very, very important to know, because the chances of a very action-packed compo coming out in your exams is quite likely. So it's also very important for students to learn main transition words like this. Immediately is a very, very common word that you can use. You can use in most compositions, especially action-packed ones. So I would recommend students to revise different ways you can say the word immediately for starters, okay? Just to start off. Definitely there are a lot of other transitional phrases that students should learn. You can start off immediately, okay? Immediately you can have without hesitation, you have in record time, you can have without a moment to lose, you can have without wasting a second, without letting a moment pass, in a split second. You see, there's so many. There's so many. Okay, you just have to just know around like three to 4, 5. Remember them in your head. So when you need them in the exam, you don't have to keep using the exact same words. If you use the exact same words, the teacher is gonna think, oh, the person has a very, very small vocab bank, very, very small word bank. Okay, does not reflect well on you when it comes to your language marks. Okay, so be very, very careful, and that is something that you should work on in your practice time. Okay. And with a forceful tug. What does it mean, forceful tug? Does anyone know? No, I just realized we haven't read this part. Alright, let me just gonna read it really quickly. Okay, Mr. Tan reached the pair of hands in record time, and with one forceful tug, the drowning girl's face appeared. She was coughing and spluttering, trying to gasp for air. Mr. Tan's arms hooked securely around the drowning girl's neck and kept her head afloat. With affirmative and capable strokes, he headed towards the shore. Paramedical assistance was waiting, and they set about work to resurrect the girl. Okay? Resuscitate, sorry, not resurrect. I read it wrongly. Resuscitate. Okay? It means to, wait, let me just go from the back. Alright, so let's go through the meanings of words. Over here, forceful tug means to pull something hard, okay? You are tugging at something. You're using force and you are just, you're pulling something. She was coughing and spluttering, okay, which means, everyone knows what coughing means. Coughing is like, when you're sick, you cough. Yeah, that's the same meaning over here. And you're making, spluttering means making explosive, choking noises. Or explosive spitting or choking noises, okay? That's what it means. Trying hard to gasp for air, okay? She's trying to gasp for air. We know what that means. Mr. Tan's arms hooked securely around the drowning girl's neck, okay? So when you say hook, you can actually imagine like Captain Hook's arm. So it's literally like this. So he's hooking his hands behind her. He's curving his hands behind her neck to hold her so that she's not going to fall back into the water. So held or curved around, okay? Securely, we know what securely means. So in a very firm way so that she will not fall again. With affirmative and capable strokes. Affirmative means stable or supportive, okay? So he's very certain in it. And with capable strokes, capable means to with a certain ability. So the way he's holding her is making it known that he's a very reliable person. He knows what he's doing. He is going to keep her head above water and he's going to save her, okay? So that's what this description is saying over here, what it's doing, okay? He headed towards shore. Paramedical assistance is essentially the paramedics. It's like when you fall sick or you get really, really badly injured and the ambulance is called, the people there who are going to help you, get into the ambulance, going to help you when you're in the ambulance, those are paramedics, okay? And the assistance you get from paramedics is called paramedical assistance, okay? And then to resuscitate the girl, not resurrect the girl like I mentioned just now. Resuscitate means to bring someone back to a stable state. Okay, we are at our last paragraph, and just right because we have 2 minutes left. All right, let's power through this. All right, good job everyone for working with me so far. All right, last paragraph, guys. Fortunately, she soon regained consciousness and was declared in good health. The girl's parents grabbed Mr. Tan's hand and thanked him profusely, okay? Miss Eugene beamed with pride at his father's heroic act. He vowed to learn to become a good swimmer like his father, okay? Regain consciousness. When you're saying someone regained consciousness, is someone who lost consciousness and now they have regained it, okay? So now they are awake again. They are no longer in a state of unconscious. So someone who is now awake and was declared in good health. So when a doctor or someone, a professional says that they declare that you're in good health, they're essentially saying that you are now okay. They have the medical right to pronounce that you're in good health, okay? So means to assert or pronounce. Okay? Girls' parents grab Mr. Tan's hand and thanked him profusely. So when you say grab, there's a sense of urgency that they're so thankful that they just grabbed his hand and you're like, thank you, thank you, thank you, you know? And thanked him profusely. When you say profusely, it's repetitively. It is they're very happy. They are you know, repeatedly to show thanks, you know? And beamed with pride means to shine brightly. So he was so happy that he literally shined with pride because he was so proud of, he's so happy that he was receiving praise, okay? With pride at his father's heroic act, he vowed, okay? Vowed means to promise. You make a solemn promise, okay? It's a serious, the thing about vowed is that you usually use it not in the same way as promise. For promise, you can maybe promise something that's cheerful, something that's more lighthearted. But when you use the word vowed, it means something, usually means something more solemn. Like, you made a mistake and I vowed that I will never do this again. I vowed that I would be careful. In this case, he vowed to become a good swimmer. He is promising that he will live up to his father's name. Okay, so it's something more solemn. All right. So from this composition, we're done with this composition, and from this you can see the exact amounts of description versus the amount of our content that progresses the composition. And that balance is actually very important to, number one, finishing on time, number two, fulfilling your language requirements, your structure requirements, all your point requirements in your essay, in your composition. And these are all very, very important. And one of the best ways to do that is practice, okay? Practice and draft tools. When you do draft tools, always review, see, did I take too much time in a certain part? Was I able to finish on time? Why was I not able to finish on time? What did I spend my time on? And these are all very, very important things to progressing to get good grades or writing a good composition, okay? These are the tips that I have for you guys for this class. And yeah, that's about it for today. And we'll do the vocab questions the next time. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a good rest of evening. All right? Bye, everyone. Great, great, great. Great, great, great. Which one was used for Chinese life just now? I forgot to write down the. Sorry, I forgot to write down the.
What's this?
Which one was used for what?